Good afternoon, fellow Ambazonians. This is Tuesday, February the 28th, 2023, and I'm glad to have you on the set of the War Zone. Of course, I am Mike Fusi, your humble host, and it's a pleasure having you again here with me so we can discuss some of the issues affecting our revolution today. Of course, there's a lot going on. There's a lot that has been going on. And we have to make sure that we keep bringing you the most up to date information. When you want accurate information, news that is up to date, the truth, you tune to ABS TV. That's where you get the right information. I know there are others out there who like spreading misinformation instead of informing you so you know the state of our revolution. And that is exactly what we intend to do here. So I'm glad to have you here with me. Please do me a favor and click the share link and share it as much as you can so I can bring to you some of the topics I have for you, which some of them are, of course, we just had the failed mountain race in Fako, Boya Fako, which did not end up well for La République du Cameroon. They thought they could defy what we had earlier stated that this event was banned, but they went ahead, and what happened happened. So we will get some updates on that. And for the sake of information only, and for the sake of information only, as we are prosecuting this war of independence, we have from time to time examined even ourselves and see those who are involved in this struggle, or those who say they are involved in this struggle, if they are actually involved in the struggle or if they are conducting themselves in a manner that will help us to achieve our independence. So from time to time, we have to take a look at ourselves. And it is only for this reason that we will take a look at the ADF today and how they have conducted themselves on the ground and to see if it is commensurate with a group that is actually fighting for the liberation of the Southern Cameroons. We will take a look at that. It won't take too long, but we'll do that. And we will also take a look at Sako Ikome Samuel again. For quite some time, we have been told that what they have there now, which they still call it a government, which is not a government, is more of an investment enterprise. And these accusations have come on time and time again, but they have said, oh, no, it's not true. We will bring you the evidence that this is actually an investment enterprise. We will bring you that evidence today. And you will see for yourself that these people, though they are claiming to be fighting for our independence, their primary motive is to make money for themselves. That is what it is. So we will take a look at that. And of course, we'll also take a look at, I know a lot of you have heard that some of our comrades have decided to leave the government for reasons best known to them. And at least one was terminated. So we will just take a look at that, and so that, and this again is not to paint anybody in a negative light, but just to make sure that the facts are set straight, so that when you hear anything out there, you should be able to differentiate fact from fiction. And it's only for that reason and that reason only that we will go there. And of course, as I mentioned, we will take a look at the mountain race. But before we do that, to give you the room to share the link, please, I would like to play for you a video which shows the state of affairs in La République du Cameroon and the mindset that the citizens of La République have, which makes it even more imperative that we make sure that we completely leave these people behind, because people with that kind of mentality can never see progress. So I would like for us to see a video of a car. Is supposed to be a campaign vehicle carrying officials of La Republique du Cameroon going somewhere in their country. And you see this car crossing through a river. A river. There's no bridge. And it has the placard of Paul Biya on the vehicle. And guess what? People were standing there cheering and adoring and just showing their support and appreciation for the old, tired Paul Biya. And then you ask yourself, if people can do this, can still find reason in their hearts to appreciate someone who is passing through a river to come and visit them, a river without a bridge, then what future are they looking forward to? And that's the reason why I thought we should take a look at it. If we can play that video before I go ahead.
Jeme popole, jeme popole, kita. Let's focus. Pole.
Okay.
Jeme popole, jeme popole, kita. Let's focus.
All right. Okay. So as I was saying, ladies and gentlemen, that's the picture I want you to see and to understand why when people are so mentally enslaved, when they are so mentally enslaved that even in this state of depravity, they still see reason to adore and praise Paul Biya. He's saying, J'aime Popo, I love Paul Biya. Oh, you love Paul Biya for what? For what? For this roadless place where you're living, where your car has to cross through a river to get to you, and you are praising Paul Biya for that? Why I thought I should bring this to you is because as long as we are tethered to the west with La République du Cameroon, I can assure you we will never see progress. Never. We will never see progress as long as we are tethered to the west with La République du Cameroon. As long as our luck is hinged together with that of La République du Cameroon, there is no hope of progress. There's no light at the end of the tunnel. It is misery for eternity. Especially when you look at the structure of your government right now, where you have a gang of occultists and rogues and thieves and murderers who are just waiting for Paul Biya to die so they can take over. Imagine if these people were to take over from Paul Biya. That country is ruined. What I can say here is this. La République du Cameroon is so destroyed. Like a house whose foundation has completely collapsed. If you had to fix that country, you have to tear it down to the foundation and start afresh. That is what it takes to fix that country. That is how rotten that country is. If you have to fix it, you have to tear everything down to the foundation and start building from a new foundation up. Because that the foundation on which La République is built today is built on sandy soil. As the Bible says, a house that is built on sandy soil cannot stand. So La République, as it is right now, cannot stand. Now, I would like to bring in my guest so that we can start the discussion proper. I have with me Chairman Patrick will be joining me, as well as Honorable Sama Thomas. Chairman Patrick, are you there? Yes, I can see you. I can see you. If you can say a word to our viewers before we continue, please. Chairman Patrick, why don't you go first?
Oh, thank you so much, Comrade Mike. Thank you, Honorable Sama, for being on the show with me today. It's always an honor to talk to the Amazonian people and to enlighten our people about why we are fighting and where we need to be to make sure we are moving towards the right direction. So, again, it's an honor to be with you guys today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. And to you, Honorable Samatamas. Honorable Samatamas, I saw
Comrade Mike,
you.
can you
I can hear you. I hope we don't have any audio issues, but continue.
okay. Greetings, my brother, and greetings. So we are telling viewers what they on the ground and everybody where they watch this show today. I be very, very grateful, Comrade Mike, for being with you for this show, for share my own opinion with Southern Cameroonians about the state of we struggle in regard to other sisters when they be engaged for the same struggle we all do for them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We don't get a lot of time, so we'll get the ball rolling real quick. So, first topic, the ADF. We don't get the ADF where it's supposed to be we partner. The ADF is supposed to be our partner in this war of liberation. But we have had complaints after complaints after complaints about the performance or none thereof of the ADF. And we have had people, our citizens have cried from them. We have had our, uh, even our ARFs cry, our genuine ARFs cry about atrocities against them from the ADF. We have even had some of our finest uh, killed by the ADF. And not, not to, I don't want this to seem as if it's something we are making up. There is a flyer here, which I would like if we can put that flyer up so Ambazonians can see. That was put up some time ago by the ADF calling for the murder of uh, Commando, General Commando. And not long after that flyer was circulated, Commando was killed. There was even a ransom prize that went with that flyer. And they were calling for that anyone who will bring the head of Commando will be paid 10 million francs. That is what that flyer said. And it came from none other than Capo Daniel. Capo Daniel was the one that circulated that flyer. And it wasn't long before Commando died. And we know the contention that existed between Commando and Efang at the time. So it is not surprising that after that incident, Commando fell. And till today, the circumstances under which Commando fell are still not very clear. But given the fact that this flyer was out there calling for anyone to bring his head, and that whoever will bring his head will get 10 million francs. That's the flyer right there. It was put up by Capo Daniel. And not long after that, General Commando was killed. I would like to read to you what is happening in Kugwe, even today as we speak. What is happening in Kugwe? We got this information. I will not be able to read all of it, but I just want to read a little bit of it so we understand. Good morning, Kevin. I wish to inform you that ADF under Ayaba have gone mad in Kugwe Batibo. Yesterday market was the Kugwe Batibo market day. They came and started beating people to give them money for their upkeep. Women 5,000, men 10,000. If I show your receipt, then you are free. A lot of people are suffering from injuries and others hospitalized because of the beatings. Again, the ADF have refused that the corpse of a grandmother, Ma Emilia, will not be buried until a huge sum of money is paid. Just, bec- just because most of her children are abroad, they want to intimidate them and get some money. That is just to give you an idea of what is happening in Kugwe village as we speak. This is something that just came to us last night. So this is something that is happening to people on the ground from the ADF yet again. We have had time and time and time again where they are accused of committing such atrocities, not against La Republique, because we are yet to see where they have gone out to attack La Republique de Cameroon. Most of the time, it's against our own very people, our own people, the people they are supposed to protect. So, with that said, before even we proceed, Chairman Patrick, you happen to be from Momo, so I'm sure you have some knowledge of what I'm talking about. Can you enlighten Ambazonians on what is going on in Kugwe, and especially with regards to the activities of the ADF?
Thank you so much, Comrade Mike. Thank you to the Amazonian people. It's a really difficult situation because before we even go forward, we have to ask the people of Mogamo why they choose to harbor the ADF in their territory. 2 years ago, we had meetings trying to see how we can work to get ADF out of that area. But the Mogamo people came back and said, we should not do that. They are going to take care of it. They are going to talk to the ADF, they are going to their children, and they gave us every promises. But up to today, the people are suffering. And that is not just an isolated incident because what the ADF is doing, they are just trying to make sure the population is rising against the
The struggle.
Amazonian Restoration Forces. They are not doing that because they need the money. They have collected so much money in the city of Bamenda and the kidnapping of Madame Mondi and all those
Wounded.
kind of people.
Mm.
And up to today, they have not used any of that money to do anything. So when we talk about AGF in Mogamo, the question is going to go back to the Mogamo people. Why are you colluding with the ADF? I
Mhm.
heard audios from Jomba Akuro when they had meetings with the ADF. They said they should even share. And when this set of people will collect the dues from the
The
people, and then the
bounties,
next
yeah.
week that set is going to collect dues from the people. And the question is, who are you fighting for? If you are going to be collecting dues from the same people that are supposed to be your cover in the area. So this is just leading us to understand that ADF is not fighting for this revolution. I had a chance to talk to Capo Daniel one time about certain things happening in Momo. And if you talk to that guy, sometimes I just sit back and laugh because he's maybe the most dumbest human being I've ever talked to because he's not smart. He
Mhm.
thinks because he is running around in China, he thinks he's invisible. But
Mhm.
unfortunately, he should understand that we are not in this war for grandstanding. We were tortured by La Republique. They declare war on us, and we are fighting to make sure our people are safe, not for ourselves. So, what ADF is doing in Momo and in Bamenda, in the town of Bamenda, is just trying to make sure the people rise against the revolution and we don't succeed. And one other thing I would say, they have enriched themselves. I would Capo Daniel thing, he's invisible. I know his some of his routes, how the ransom is being collected in Bamenda, and
Okay.
where the little brother who's involved in collecting some of that money where he is right now. He was in Bamenda
Mhm.
recently. He thinks they're invisible, but we see some of their actions. But at the end of the day, everybody is going to be judged for what they have done in this revolution. The day is going to come. They are not going to hide. We know everything. We see them. And we know the atrocity they are causing on our people and the delay they are putting on this revolution. So, Capo Daniel, you have my number. If you think you can call me, I can still call you and talk to you. But if you guys don't change the direction of your actions in the Northwest and other parts of Amazonia, It's not going to be easy. 10 years down the road, we're going to succeed, but everybody's going to be judged based on what they did on our people because none of us is going to, we don't even want the positions back there. We just want to liberate our people. It's not about how
Hmm.
much money you make.
It's not. It's not about money. And like you said, of Capo Daniel, thinking that just because he's in China, that the arms of justice cannot reach him. He should be. He should not be mistaken because, like you said, it has been reported that it is Capo Daniel's junior brother who is the guy that picks up all the ransoms. Because each time somebody is kidnapped, either in Bamenda or the surrounding areas, the call goes to Capodana. Even when Ayabacho is called, he directs you to call Capodana. Capodana is uh, uh, the main person at the center of all the kidnappings and ransom takings. The money goes through him. Ayabacho is smart enough not to be the person linked directly to it, so he's using Capodana. So it's Capodana's fingerprints that are all over the place as far as that is concerned. And the day of reckoning will come when he will have to account for what he is doing. He may think that he's safe there in China. No, he does leave China from time to time. And one day he will fall in the dragnet. So let them continue doing what they're doing. And then he he calls himself the czar of anti-kidnapping. I said, are you kidding me? Anti-kidnapping. You should call yourself the kingpin of kidnapping and ransom taking. Honorable Sama Thomas, one other revelation that has come to us is that the problem you have with the ADF, where some boys get hooked with the ADF and are not able to leave, is because their recruitment policy is through a blood oath. That when you join the ADF, they make you take a blood oath, almost like a cult or like what we call Nyongo or secret society. So that when these boys have taken this blood oath and they go in there and they start seeing bad things being done, it becomes difficult for them to leave. And so they are hooked. Well, Uncle Samaton, do you know anything about this blood oath that the ADF members are made to take?
No, for the issue of blood oath, I don't know about that, and I do not see how truthful that can be. What I know
Mm-hmm.
about oath taking is that when you join any society, like the SCNC was, if you join
Mm-hmm.
the SCNC or the Southern Cameroon struggle, from the days of Cam, there was what we call uh, the pledge for the struggle that
Mm-hmm.
everybody
Take.
must take that pledge, which sounds like an oath. Even when
Mm-hmm.
we were in the youth league in 1997, we took such a pledge as well to bond us all together. But there was never a
Mm-hmm.
thing like a blood oath.
Blood oath.
Maybe it has changed within the ranks and
Mm-hmm.
file of the ADF that they are doing such a thing, but I cannot say for certain if that is true.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Okay.
Beside that,
Mm-hmm.
what is, as my brother was saying, I've told, I've made a numerous or a number of audios calling AFAM out. There is nobody on the planet Earth that is bigger than the village.
Absolutely.
No matter how strong you are under the village. AFAM might have his day today, but one day, the same village that he is terrorizing, his own people that he is terrorizing,
Mm-hmm.
one day they will bring him down. For something will one day happen in that village that he will not be able to do anything with it, he must go to that village.
Yes.
Maybe to the smallest person that he thinks he will never go on his knees in front of that person, he will go on his knees to beg for that person to do that thing for him, of it on that day all his crimes that he's committed against the people of Kugwe and Batbo as a whole, he will pay for it. Ayaba will never leave Mankon to go down to Batibo and Kugwe to
Mhm.
answer for Efa's crime. He will stand on that throne there, in front of the village, on that oath there, on front of that oracle there, in front of the village, and answer for his crimes. That day is coming. Let him continue listening to the Tsar of kidnapping, who is in Hong Kong, called Capo Daniel. He is coming from whom? And again, unless this information is not, I am informed that Capo Daniel, this should go to the AGF as well, for them to
Mhm.
to investigate the person they call their spokesperson. I am informed that Capo Daniel's mother is Yaoundé. That is the more reason you will hear Capo Daniel thanking President Biya. Just 3 weeks ago, Capo Daniel was on air thanking President Paul Biya. That is not the first time. That is not the second time. That is not the third time. Any born Southern Cameroonian got nothing.
Yep.
Lineage, a bloodline with that sect in Yaoundé, you will never be able to appreciate anything that is coming out from that direction. Capo Daniel with Paul Biya's failed Canada talks, he went on air to thank for accepting the part of negotiations. Where is that negotiation? Can Capo Daniel say come
Where
out
is
and tell
it?
Southern Californians where that
Where is it? I tell you, this guy is so limited in his thinking. I don't know. I don't know if he has a brain at all, but he's so just so not wise. Let me. I don't want.
Com-
I don't want to insult him. He's not very smart.
Comrades,
Kapodane.
comrades.
He's smart when it comes to kidnapping and ransom taking, but he's not very smart. Yeah, Chairman Patrick, you were about to say something.
Yes, I just want to give you guys some scenarios because every time people say the ADF is not fighting for Amazonia, people always take it like a joke. I have very clear evidence of what they have been doing, like selling restoration forces to La Republique. And
Hmm.
they know we had a great fighter in Momo Genesis. And during the 2018 presidential election, I think it was 2018 presidential election, this guy was under the Njikwa LGA, but the ADF for some reason had contact with him. They set him up, brought him to Bamenda. The guy that was killed under hospital runabout, and he was lying on the ground there for days. That was Genesis. That was a great fighter who was
Hmm.
lured and sold in Bamenda. Secondly, there was another fighter called Commander Doctor. Just, I think it was last year or year before, he was
Hmm.
also fighting in the Momo area. And for unknown reason, they sent him to go collect some ransom money at the food market in Bamenda. And
Hmm.
Doctor got to that location and was killed by La Republique forces. How can this be a coincidence that every time the AGF to start talking to somebody, they lure you to put you into a trap? Everybody saw it last year in this sometime last year when they said they were trying to get all the fighters into Kugwe area, Batibo area, so that they can
Hmm.
plan some major fighting in Mancon. But when all the
Hmm.
fighters got to that area, that is when La Republic surrounded everybody and killed them. But the only person that always jump out of this is Efan. Efan is always
Efan
completely
always seems to get away. He always seems to be able to get away, but the others get killed. So
so
how is it? How does that happen?
that is how they have been helping La Republique to sell the Amazonian fighters to La Republique. But I'll tell you that is we should all understand. If you've read Revolutions, even the recently you saw even in Ukraine, the president of Ukraine was able to dismiss some generals who were also
Hmm.
working for Russia, but they were Ukrainian generals who were in the front line. So we should just take it as enemy within the house.
Yes.
Whatever this tell,
Yes.
I have my mind. I believe in collaboration. I believe in bringing all the Amazonians together, but ADF has never proven to me that these are people that we can work with. So we should just know whatever collaboration we're trying to put together, you are bringing an enemy to the house, and we should deal with accordingly. They are not fighting for this revolution. Look at what they just did recently with the flyers with Namdi Kano. If anybody within the ADF has any brain, you should be asking yourself, why would Nigeria help us or do get any sympathy to the Amazonian cause if Namdi Kano, who is across the river, is working with the Amazonian fighters to make sure?
Of course, and
So
and rightly said, we have suffered a lot of seizure of our material after that incident because Nigeria stepped up their security at the border, and they were clamping down on our areas when they go
yeah,
there to secure material because of what
be-
the ADF
the
did.
ADF is doing. Because what they will do is Nigeria will look at it like, okay, if Namdi Kano helps you get your independence, it means you're going to be helping Namdi to separate, to
Exactly.
divide
It's all
Nigeria
a
into
matter of
pieces.
alliances. We are building an
So,
alliance with the wrong person. Huh?
this is just a matter of, you listen to Nambere the other day. Some of what I learned from Nambere, he might have said some crazy stuff, but some of the things I learned from there was the communication within the ADF with La Republique. And
Mhm.
I sit back every day and ask, what is Ayaba thinking? This is somebody that started fighting from the university, even from high school. And today you
Mhm.
are trying to play these games to sell your own people.
It's all
So it's so
about
disgusting.
it's all about the M word, money. It's all about money,
Money.
money, ego, uh, self aggrandizement. That is all what it is to Ayaba. He is not in this struggle for the Amazonian people. Let me just put it that way.
No,
He
he's
is
not.
not in this struggle for the Amazonian people. He is in it for himself. That's it. And all those around him, they know that he does not care, because if you cared about the people, how can you go out, see a soldier who is actually giving his all and fighting for the struggle, and you take him out? It's not one, not two, not three. He has done that many times. A lot of our ARS have fallen not from the hands of the enemy, but from the hands of the ADF. And before I forget, it has also been brought to our attention that Capo Dana is actually married to an Wonder Woman. I think someone mentioned that to me, that he's
Dr.
actually married
Ramani,
to
I am saying that his mother, I'm informed that his mother is from Yaoundé.
okay, okay, and the
That Capo
mother,
Daniel's
the
mother
mother.
is Yaoundé.
Then
So
there you
he
go,
might
there
be
you go.
married to an Iwondo, but the mother is from Yaoundé. So he's
The
going back
mother
to
is
his
from Yaoundé.
roots.
Okay,
So
okay. Now, because I was surprised, how can this guy leave all the women around here and go to marry a woman? So the mother is a Yaoundé woman, and that is why he
Yes,
is doing what he's doing
he's
to
standing for
destroy our struggle.
at every street and turn.
Huh? Now it's the dots are beginning to connect. The dots are beginning to connect.
so
Huh? So
Comrade Mike,
Capodana is actually half Yaoundé and half Womb. Huh?
Yes.
so Comrade
Okay,
Mike,
now it's clear.
one thing that La Republic has successfully done to Southern Cameroonians from Foncha to everybody is find a young girl in the Yaoundé clan so that they can get married to you, so that they can use that woman to make sure you do what they want. Look
Yes,
at,
yes.
you all know about the Fumban. When they got to Fumban, they brought young girls and they were handing over young girls to Foncha and the rest, and they thought they were on top of the high
They're
horses.
living the life.
Look at
Yeah.
the situation today. Atanganji, who was running around and they got him into Yaoundé, they gave him a young Yaoundé woman. He's married to a Yaoundé girl now. Secondly, the prime minister. This is
The
somebody who
prime
went to
minister,
Yaoundé with a wife. The
yes,
prime minister now
he
is
has his
married to a
own.
young Yaoundé woman. You saw
Mhm.
Frundi dancing at the presidency or wherever he was with some Yaoundé women. They know how to
Uh,
trap them. That is why they say a woman is always at the middle of all this craziness with these people. But the reality is, we have to focus on what we're doing. They are all going to fail because we are on course for the liberation of Amazonia. That's simple.
Okay, I
Christopher,
just thought
Christopher
that we should shine
Salai's
a light.
wife,
Yeah, go
Christopher
ahead,
Salai's wife was Yaoundé. So the son who poses in the United States as a lawyer, the mother is Yaoundé.
uh-huh.
Anyway, let us progress because I want to throw some more light, not to condemn the ADF, but to tell them their ills that they are doing in this struggle and the role they are playing in this struggle,
Mhm.
which is not for the liberation of the southern Cameroons, but is very, very detrimental for us to arrive Boya. If at all they want to reach Boya, they are not
Mhm.
going to the direction of Boya if they do not stop all those malpractices that they are doing.
And to follow your point there, Honorable Sama Thomas, when we say these things, it's not because we hate the ADF. We just wish they were doing the right thing for Amazonia. If we saw Efan going out there and taking on the enemy, wouldn't we praise him? We will all praise him. But you can't sit there, you are not engaging the enemy, and you turn around and you're molesting our own very people. For what? That's not what the struggle is all about. And that's what we're talking about here. And Kapodan is sitting there, we don't see them making any moves to liberate Ambazania. All they're doing is just conducting their ransom taking, kidnappings, and all the like. That is what Daniel specializes in, ransom taking. I've asked many times what he does for a living. Even Ayabacho, what does Ayabacho do for a living? What is his job? What does he do to sustain himself? I would like for someone to tell me, what does Ayabacho do for a living? I need someone to tell me, what is his job? So they depend on this ransom and kidnapping money that is being that they collect all over the place. That's what we're talking about. So let's go to another person too that needs for us to focus on him. It's none other than Mr. Uh, the evangelist Sako Sama. I don't know which name I should use. If he has so many aliases, I won't go there now. But it has come to our attention that Mr. Sako's insurance enterprise, we have the list. We have the list of the enterprise and those who are invested in it. And again, when we say when we bring these things to Ambazonian, it's to the Ambazonian people, is to make sure that you are properly informed of who you are following. If you are following Sako, you know who you are following. If you are following Ayaba, you know who you are following. Their motivations, their own intentions in this struggle. So that tomorrow you won't say, oh, if only someone had told us, if only someone had told me. It is only for this reason that we're bringing you this information. So we have the list of those who have been investing, because for quite some time we have said Sako was investing for a long time now in Bitcoins and in an insurance scheme. And I can tell you from first-hand experience that I was contacted. I was contacted to sign up for these investments, and I said no. I refused. When we were still under Sako, they reached out to me. They tried to convince me. We were in a Zoom meeting. They conducted a Zoom meeting. There was one white lady, and they came in there. We were trying to convince her. Frank Cheney was one of the organizers. And they tried to, I told them, no, that is not I don't like investing in something I'm not an expert in, that I know very little about. Tell me something about real estate, and I'll listen to you. But I will not go into insurance or Bitcoins. It sounds too abstract for me. I'm not going to sign up for that. So I'm not just, it's not from gossip. I was contacted by Sako himself, was in that meeting. But we have the list of those who signed up for it. We have the list of those who signed up for that insurance investment. And the list, I don't know if we can put the list up, but if not, I have some of the names here. I have some of the names here, but I think if we can put that list up for Brazilians to see it, that would be great. I can read some of the names. I may not be able to read all of them, but I can read some names that are very, very familiar to you that you cannot miss. Uh, First name that I'll read to you is none other than Prince Chinje. He's one of the investors in the insurance scheme. And he had a balance in there that was in the tens of thousands. He had a balance in there that was in the tens of thousands. I don't know how he got his money. I will not read his own amount, but I will read that of one guy whose name was on the list, named Josh Caleb Jr. Ikome Samuel. I don't know if Chairman Patrick or Honorable Sama Thomas, if you recognize that name, Josh Caleb Jr. Ikome Samuel. That his name is there, and he had as much as $39,000 against his name that he had invested. And this is the
That
update
should be
as
that
of
should be Sako's son. That must be Sako's son.
okay.
That
Josh
should be
Caleb
Sako's
Ikome
son.
Samuel. Yeah, that's Sako's son. You know, he always likes to put someone else's name. So that is the amount he had. He had in there 39,000 and some change in there invested. So we will we will discuss on how this money may have come about. Some other names on the list that you may remember, that you may recognize. There was Irengwa was on the list. Yes, Irengwa is on the list. There's Victorine Yangni was on the list. There is Dorothy Ngwa on the list. There is uh, Tita. Well, let me see the other name. Emmanuel Tita. I'm sure you know who that is.
That's Dr.
That should
Tita.
be Dr. Tita. You know, I will not want to go through all of the names. I have the whole list here. I don't want to read all the names. There are even non-Ambazonians on the list as well. So I just want people to know this is not it's something I got from a reliable source. So, fellow Ambazonians, I just want you to know because for so long we've been hearing that money was invested in this Bitcoin and insurance. I don't know what to call it. And initially they said,
Thing.
no, how can we invest in this? We are not invested in it. I have the evidence. This is the evidence here. I just read to you. If e-commerce Samuel thinks that this information is not correct, let him come out and dispute it, and I will post it online for everyone to see. Yes. If he wants to dispute that this list that I've got is not authentic, let him challenge me, and I'll publish it. The only reason I don't want to publish it now because there are names of others who are not involved in it. I don't want. I can make sure that I cover the names of the others and post the rest of the list so people can see it. So, Honorable Sama Thomas, we know that Comrade Samuel, before being chosen to lead the interim government, was really not working or was not doing anything much. From when he became the leader of the Southern Cameroons to this point, we don't know that he's been doing any that he has any other job except for the salary that he's been paid. I think it was $3,000 a month. So the question is to you: why do you think Ikome Samuel got 39,000 and some change to invest in this business?
Oh well, if you ask me, where do I think Ekweme Samuel got to 9,000 to invest in the business? We should first of all multiply this to 9,000 by 4. If Samuel Ekweme Sako is having 4 children, we multiply this to 9,000 by 4. Then you will know how much he must have embezzled in the Southern Cameroon's
Yeah, and you are right
coffers.
because this is only the insurance side of it. We don't have the one or the Bitcoin yet. We don't yet have the one for the
Yeah.
Bitcoin. Yes.
So you find a guy that conceals every crime on his part, on its part, but brings in his wife
Mhm.
to be taking his salary. The 3,000 that they were paying him was going to the wife. It was the wife's name that was there. Now there's an insurance scheme here in his son's name.
Mhm.
What is the son doing? Is he a super
To
skilled laborer in the United States that will have an insurance scheme of 39,000? Maybe if that son is working, because to the best of my knowledge, that son is not working. So where is he
how
having
first
this
of
money?
all, the thing is, you first of all have to ask how old is his son. How old is his son?
That's
That's
my
what you have
question
to
now.
ask for. Yeah. How old is
Yeah.
his son? His son, I don't think the son is that old to have that kind of investment. So it is normal.
So
As usual, Sako
no,
never links himself directly to these deals. He has always gone through uh, uh, Chinje. Frank, he's the one. He's the one. Just like Capo Daniel has his brother picking up the ransom money. Sako has Chinje being the one
Chinye,
pick Chinye being the one picking up his own, doing the dirty work, and then he
the
only
dirty job for
sits
him.
behind and collects the money. So that at the end of the day, he comes out clean and the others get dirty. That is why others were picked up and he wasn't picked up because he made sure his fingers were not his fingerprints were not all over the place. So Chairman Patrick, this is Sako someone who for so long has said, "Oh, I never invested anything anywhere," but we've always known. We've always known. Like I said, I was contacted. I was put in a Zoom meeting, and they tried to convince me to sign up for this thing, and I turned it down. So I'm just speaking from first-hand knowledge. So what do you think about this idea? Because there is no doubt in my mind that Ambazonia's money has been misused in this case. Because I don't see how else someone who came from a basement all of a sudden he's investing so much money in this in this
$10,000.
in this. Uh,
Look, Chairman Mike, you are not the only one that was contacted. I was also contacted, and they tried to cajole me by telling me, "Oh, Frank Chenue is one of the top executives in the business, so I'm not
mhm,
going to lose my money." And it was one of the guys who hang out with Sako who called me and said, "Oh, you
mhm.
should invest." I told him, "No, I'm not going to do that." But the reality here is, if anybody, any Amazonian, is in his right senses, you should be looking at what politics is all about. Some politicians, they go into politics because they have insider information about things that they can invest in and make money. But that is for countries that are already established. We are fighting a war. We're trying to defend our people. We're trying to see that
Mhm.
we regain our independence to the level that we can have businesses in Amazonia that can flourish. But some
Yes.
people already had it in their minds that they were ministers, they were directors, they were this and that. They can start using Amazonia for their own personal gain. That is why
Well,
those who
you
you
remember
see,
the famous oil deal transaction
yeah,
in London.
yeah. So that is
People
why you
people
see
were
some of
already
these people
selling
who are
people were
dying.
already selling resources.
Yeah. So those are these people that are dying. You see them support Sako to the core is because they had invested under Sako. They know their money is gonna get disappear. Their money is gonna disappear if they go against Sako. They were not even thinking about Amazonia. Their goal was to
Mhm.
see how they can make money for themselves. Secondly, they were already looking at themselves as ministers, and they were giving money to Sako in the back. And I will ask, the question is, we talked about Lava Storm 1 and 2 and 3. There was some legal something, Amazonian legal mind. When I
Mhm.
go there and look at the contributions that were made, that they were trying to use the money to pay lawyers for the International Court of Justice. And up to today, even if they ended up, through Johnson came up and was showing an envelope that they sent out a DHL. Sending ideas to any part of this world is less than $200. And that is, where did the money go to? So they took
Where
the
did it go
money,
to?
those of them up there decided to invest the money for themselves. And
Yes,
Ambazonia people are
yes,
just dying on the ground, and people still
yes.
sit there and say, "Oh, Sako," they are just trying to protect their investments, not to the
And to
Ambazonia
that point,
revolution.
the big thing I want Ambazonians to take from this thing is this: just like Ayaba has a way of enticing people, that's wrapping you so that once you get in, you cannot leave. Sako uses the investment to make sure that when you are now invested in this business, you cannot leave him, because by leaving him, you can lose your money. They can threaten you. You
If you
remember,
lost your money.
remember Emmanuel uh, Tita, Emmanuel Tita went back. He went back to Sako, but we did not understand why. We did not understand why he did it. Probably because he was thinking about all the money. Because Tita has quite some significant amount of money in there. Let me tell you, Tita has quite some money in there. He probably thought that if he were to stay out, that he may lose that money. And it is this thing, this investment that has now is now like the rope that is used to tie a goat. You cannot go beyond a certain circle. So this is what Sako used now to tie all these people that have the names I've called. That's not all. There are
The
many
big,
others,
the
and
big
all
players.
these people that are invested in this business are still with Sako because of this investment. If not of this investment, I can assure you that many of them would have left already. But they cannot, because that is the glue that is tying them to Sako now, because it's more of an investment enterprise, not a group fighting for the liberation of the Southern Cameroons. That is why I thought I should bring this. The main point I want to drive home. Yes.
Comrade Mike, I just want
Yes.
to let me just chip in something here. Um, Sako, he knows exactly what I'm talking about. He had some
Mhm.
people, he was telling them how much before this is all said and done, going to be living at Potomac. I think that's one of the high locations in the Washington D.C. area. He said
Mhm.
before he leaves America, he's going to buy a house in that area. That is where Obama and all these top politicians have homes. So I started
Mhm.
asking myself, what was this guy thinking? How did he think he's going to afford maybe three, 4 or 5 to $10 million to buy a home at Potomac? That those are the kind of that is the mentality this guy had. That's
Yes.
when I
Yes.
look at it, I ask
Yes.
myself, when is he thinking, even if the Ambazonia revolution is over today, Sako knows that he's not going back to Ambazonia because first of
Yeah,
all, he
yeah.
has
You,
so
you saw
much
you saw the list there with all
baggage.
the amounts. Those are not small amounts.
Yeah.
Those are the investments that they
So
have
he
in there.
has so
So
much
all of them.
baggage, what he caused to some families back home and all the kind of things he's done back there, he cannot step his foot back there. So this guy knows that he's
Yep.
not going anywhere. He's just going to entangle and get those who have the block minds to come around him and then do those investments, and he is making much money. He knows. So one thing when I look at it, I even look at this my people from Mogamo, who like from the Iringwa, the Dorotingwa,
Mhm.
and all these people, they are hanging around Sako. They keep on coming up and say we have raised $300,000, $500,000, but
From where?
Ayaba is terrorizing your relatives, holding them for
Yep.
ransom in their
Yep.
backyard. Where is the three
And you are
hundred
not doing
thousand dollars
anything
and all
about
that
it.
money? What are you doing with it?
Yes.
Instead of getting
Yes.
Ayaba away from your territory, you keep fraternizing with him, and then your people are there crying every day, sending out messages to say, "Oh, we're dying here, we're dying here." So they have made this an investment scheme, and those who want to keep hanging around him, it's their choice. That's why we're living in a free world. But they should not try
Yeah,
to make
and that is
big deal
that
out of
is
this.
that is that is why we thought it necessary to bring this information to light, because without this evidence being put out here, They will continue to say, oh, they are just making up stories. And what, if you notice, we have not paid attention. Our previous programming has not paid any attention to SACCO and what they are doing. But why we decided to do this time is because they are they cannot stop bashing other people out there. They have used ABC for one thing and one thing only, to slander other Amazonians, to give false accusations against other Amazonians for propaganda and all that. And it's demoralizing our people. You see, what they do there all the time is criticizing other Amazonians, not criticizing those who are responsible for the killings of our people every day. ABC, every day, they are there bashing other fellow Amazonians who are struggling to free our homeland. So I just wanted people to see what these people are sitting on. They are sitting on a pile of shit, and they are pretending as if they are squeaky clean. They are not. They are not. These are their investments you are seeing here. So when they come out tomorrow and say, oh, it's a lie, these are the figures. These figures are not made up. You can see the print here is an original paper on which these statements are presented for those who understand it. So we are not making anything up here. This is just information for Ambazonians to understand that what they are doing is wrong, especially when they keep using ABC as a propaganda outlet. It's more of a propaganda outlet. It's not out to enlighten the people, to uplift the people, to inform them and motivate them to continue persecuting this war of independence. They use it to slander other people for no reason. So let them deal with it a little bit. We have avoided talking about Sako Samuel for quite some time, but they will not stop. They will not stop. Every time they're calling other people's names, especially
Well,
Christians.
Comrade Mike,
It's their arch
the
enemy.
reason the reason we avoid talking about Sako is that Sako is an inconsequential, if not inconsequential, Sako is not our enemy. He is not the people we set out for this struggle for. We set out for
Absolutely.
the Republic.
Mhm.
And any Southern Cameroonian that thinks that he or she cannot be in this struggle, that Southern Cameroonian should think again. For he himself or herself is not in this struggle. If you want to join this struggle and you join this struggle because you want to follow Sama Thomas, then you've made a mistake.
Yes.
Try to emulate what you've seen Sama Thomas do. The passion Sama Thomas is having for the liberation of the Southern Cameroons is supposed to be what you will base your followership on. Because if Sama Thomas happens to leave tomorrow or he dies, you are still there because you have that same passion. But don't follow because you see Sama Thomas being part of the struggle. By the moment you allow the substance and you are chasing the shadow, like Sako, that if he does not lead, then to hell with the whole struggle, you are a
Yes.
spoiler.
Yes, exactly. You've said it, Honorable Samatama. And that is what I told someone who is a surrogate of Sako. And he was trying to argue with me. I said, look, we are not the same. I was with Sako. I supported Sako. I fought against those who were saying that Sisiko should lead from behind jail. I fought them because I was following the truth. I thought that it was wrong for him to sit in jail and lead us. So I fought to protect Sako at the time. When Sako decided that, oh, I'm the Almighty, it is me to Boya, and I asked the question, so if it is you to Boya, what if it takes 30 years for us to get to Boya? Do you think that it should always be you? And they could not answer that question. And I said, no, I cannot continue to support someone with this kind of mentality. That is not what I was fighting for. And I left Sako, went to Marianta, and Marianta, after 6 months, said, I'm not standing for any elections. So I narrated all these things to this surrogate of Sako. I said, so you can see now that I'm not following individuals. I'm following the truth. I'm following our laws, our constitution, what the Restoration Council says. That is what I follow. If you do the same, then you will not be doing what you are doing right now. And I told him that we are now serving under Comrade Chris Anu. If tomorrow he fumbles, rest assured that I will drop him. That's what I told him.
We will shift him
If
by
he
the side,
fumbles tomorrow,
and the
I
story
will drop
continues.
him. Yeah. But they don't understand. Some people are in this struggle and they don't even understand what they are following. You don't follow individuals. Follow the structures of government. Follow the truth, and you will be fine. That's all they need to do. But there are some people who get attached to individuals and they say, "Oh, it must be this person." What if that person is not doing the right thing? Must you stay with that person? Must you stay with that person?
Comrade Mike, one
Yes,
thing that
Chairman
has
Patrick.
maybe it might look like we are so divided, but the good thing about this division is the fact that La Republic that has been fond of bribing people, they don't know who to bribe now. They know if I
Exactly.
bribe A, B, and C, or if I bribe A and C, B is still going to be fighting me. If I
Yes,
bribe D
yes.
and the other one is still going to be fighting me. So this is a positive, but we have to be smart about how we use this to
Mm-hmm.
prosecute our revolution. Because
Mm-hmm.
if we had said Sakoti Boya, today we would have been sitting here and Sako is building mansion in La Republic and we'll sit back and say, oh,
Yes.
we are going
Uh,
to Boya. And before you know it,
mm-hmm.
20 years down the road, we have not even reached close anywhere close to Motengere.
Mm-hmm.
So we just have
Mm-hmm.
to understand that the collaboration that we're trying to put together, the unity of purpose that is coming up together is for the good of Ambazonia. It's not for the good
Mm-hmm.
of any individual. So whoever doesn't want to join, you are going to be a minority in the nearest future because Ambazonia is moving
Uh,
forward and La Republic is
yeah,
running away
yeah.
from. They are so scared of this collaboration and they are going to be people running away.
You see, what to close this topic, what I have to say is this: like you rightly said, Chairman Patrick. The thing is this: my frustration with other leaders of the struggle is the lack of focus on the real enemy,
Enemy.
like the Eyabas we have talked about, like the Sakos. If all of us were focusing on the same army, say we are trying to bring down an elephant, right? We're trying to bring down an elephant. You are aiming at that elephant. I'm aiming at that elephant. You are shooting the head. I'm shooting the stomach. Honorable Samuel Thomas is shooting the whatever other part.
The legs.
We are trying to bring it down. You hold one part, I hold the other part, and we help to bring it down. But when you find comrades who, when they see you trying to aim at the animal you're trying to bring down, they are instead blocking your weapon.
You say enemy and you.
Or they are aiming at you instead, trying to bring you down and leaving the real enemy. That is where my frustration is. It is not the multiplicity of leaders that's the problem. It is the focus of those leaders that is the problem. If we were focused on La Republique, you doing your best to bring down La Republique, I'm doing my best, the other person doing their best, would that not be a good thing for Amazonia? Would that not be a good thing? But Sako will say, no, it must be me. I must be the one to bring down La Republique. But then you look at what he is doing, he's not doing much to accomplish that objective. Why must it be you? Because you want that, okay, when you go there, you have to be the one to go and sit there and call yourself leader. No, it's not going to happen. When we successfully free Ambazonia, the Ambazonian people will pick who their leader is. It's not someone from the diaspora who go and lead them. They will choose who their leader is at that time. People should get that into their heads. So I would like for us, we have just about half an hour or less to round up the show. So I have a few other topics that I would like for us to rush through. One being the recent resignations and termination of some of the officials of this interim government in the past weeks and days have kept some people really busy in the chat room, especially our detractors have been very excited about it, but I think it is a sign of maturity of our democracy that uh, it is not the kind of thing that we've had in the past where once you are in, and then you stay there whether you are doing well or not. There's no problem. You just sit there, even if you're not effective, you just stay there. And on the other hand, it is a democratic thing for an official who feels that he or she cannot more operate in a certain environment to step aside, or that their capabilities can no longer satisfy the office which they are holding. They have the response. It is a moral thing. It is even a patriotic thing to step aside and allow someone else who can do better to take over. So people should not see it as a negative. And but the only problem is when people step aside, there should be no misinformation or attempts at destroying the house just because you're out of it. That is what is unpatriotic. So, Chairman Patrick, I know you've witnessed all this throughout, and I want you to tell Ambazonians what you feel about this phenomenon. It is something that is supposed to be a positive to show that we are mature enough to do a selective replacement based on the performance or feelings of those that are in service at the time without it being looked upon as a negative. What do you think?
Thank you, comrade. I think if I had it in a different way, I would not even talk about these people anymore because there was one time, maybe 2 years ago, Honorable Sama had a contagious laugh
Mm-hmm.
about, I think it was a quote that Ochiba Nelson made about Turkey and something. I can't remember exactly what the quote is. That said, when you get tired and you are not able to continue, just give way so that I can continue the race. So
Mm-hmm.
some of these our comrades, I don't even think they got tired. They just did not have it their way. And I feel
Mm-hmm.
so disturbed because these were people we held to a very high esteem and we expected them to behave maturely, even if they are not with the revolution. This revolution is not about an individual, it's about the Amazonian people. And if
Mm-hmm.
you get to a point where you think you are not able to move forward, you can just resign like they did, but
Mm-hmm.
you can support from the back or you just take a break. There are people
Yes.
that are going to continue, and this revolution is not going to stop because of an individual. But what I've
Mm-hmm.
seen in some of the forums is just so too bad. At the end of the day, Amazonia is going to move forward, whatever they do, how much information they put out there, how much classified information they put out there. At the end of the day, we are going to continue. No revolution on earth has ever gone forever. And even if La Republic use some of these people or they do whatever is going on, thinking we're going to buy people and do this to stop this revolution, is unfortunate
It's not going to
because when
work.
they kill one Amazonian, their children will never forgive them. They're going to come up and fight because when they
Mm-hmm.
use Foncha, they thought they had won. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, they did not know these are Foncha's children that have learned to make sure the correct word was not corrected during the Foncha period. So
Exactly.
we can just let these people go. If they want to continue to be Amazonians, fine. But if they want to join La Republic and fight against Amazonia, we are still going to be up to the task. That is the revolution. People have a choice, but at the end of the day, we're going to move on.
Thank you very much. And to say something more to what you just said there, the error that people make sometimes is when you feel too excited, that's not the right time for you to make decisions. You have to sit and relax and just have some time to reflect before you make any further decisions. When you are making hasty decisions, when you are either irritated or too excited, it is much more probable that you will make the wrong decisions. Your statements will not come out right. Your countenance will not come out right. And your emotions are not, they are not in check. And the probability of you making a mistake are much higher at that point. So, but the sad thing again is this: people need to understand. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Whatever you are doing, you have to consider the consequences on the struggle, because you cannot say today that you are fighting for a revolution and tomorrow something happens and then you are making decisions that are against that objective which you had set for yourself previously. So are you now saying that you don't care about the revolution again because you are upset? You still have to consider what you are doing on the struggle, on those who are dying on the ground. Because those of us who are out here in the diaspora, there's nothing that anyone can do that will hurt us as much as it is hurting those on the ground. It hurts those on the ground than anything you can do that will hurt anybody out here. And that is what I always want people to think about. That whatever you are doing, you are hurting innocent people on the ground. No, not anyone out here. You may think, oh, I'll really throw this mud or dirt on him or her. No, you are not throwing the mud on him or her. You are throwing it on the people on the ground who are suffering under the brutality of La Republic of Cameroon. So, Honorable Sama Thomas, I want you to give me your take on that.
Well, resignation is good if you resign consciously. And if you resign consciously, your after action will not be to destroy the society where you resign from. I would take an example to myself. When I was in Mankom Bachongwa and Mezam County, there was a time that I found that the pressure on me to stay put was going to be more destructive than being productive. So I took that humble decision to resign from whatever position that I was holding. I started with Malcolm Bachongwa. I resigned the first time they refused. I came back, the same situation continues, and I said, I am done with this. I will no longer continue in this position as the defense secretary. And I resigned. When I resigned, I choose not to be anti-revolution. I was
Exactly.
still supporting the struggle and paid money for my draft. I was the first person. I was the first person to pay for draft 2021 in 2020. $500. The first. Because my money for draft or my support, my financial support for the struggle was not based on any position that I was
Exactly.
holding.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
if you are resigning from your position, but keep part of the struggle and financial, then fine. Do not resign to become. If you
An
resign to become a
obstacle.
spoiler, that is where there's a problem, and you now become an agent of La Republic without knowing. There were audios when I resigned and choose to be silent that people were sending to me. When you send those audios to me, I will just call you from behind and ask you, my friend, you send this audio for me to do what with it. For me to react. If I react, how is my action going to help move this struggle
Move
forward?
the struggle forward. That is
So
always a question that people should ask. Yes.
I
Yeah.
will tell the person, please do not send this type of an audio to me again, because you know that the audio was the audio was meant for me to react, and if I react according to the producer of this audio, I'm not helping the struggle. So let us just keep let sleeping dogs lie. if people can emulate what I did, then our resignation will be a rightful choice that we've made. But if you resign with the intention of destroying what you've built for close to 6 years, then that is a disservice not only to yourself, but for the Southern Cameroons and those that have died. The over 60 or 100,000 people that have died. You've made a disservice to these people, and their spirit will never let you free.
Free. Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Samuel Thomas. And just to end on that point, I would like to say this. The fact that you are no longer a position holder or whatever does not stop you from still serving the cause of the struggle. As a matter of fact, some people serve better outside of their responsibilities than within. So just because you are now not some people even out of this out of the interim government will still contribute. I know people who are not within this interim government, but when they hear that there's a draft, they come and give their money to support it. But they are not actively members of the interim government. But they see that the cause for which we are fighting is good for Ambazonia. And when it's time for drafting, they come in and draft. So you can still contribute a lot, especially those who have had the expertise within the structures of the government. You can still play a very positive role to move the struggle forward without necessarily occupying a position. That's how I see it. So I hope that our comrades can just take a moment and reflect on their actions, on their decisions, and ask a simple question: how is this beneficial to the cause for the liberation of the Southern Cameroon and Bazonia, and make the right decision? Now, when it comes to, I know we are running down. We have to be out of here in less than 15 minutes. But there is something I want us to talk about before we leave. Of all the atrocities that have happened in the Southern Cameroon and continue to happen every day, be it bombs that are now popping up everywhere in Ambazonia, we never used to have that. Be it guns that are everywhere, people are dying from gunshots and so on, we never used to know that. Be it ransom taking, be it kidnapping, be it children not being able to go to school, be it refugees now running away from their homes. All the structures, these buildings and houses and villages that have been destroyed in the Southern Cameroon and Bazonia. All of the horrible things that have happened to our people, not to mention all of the killings that have happened in our territory. These things happened, all of these things will be blamed on La République du Cameroon. Even if those things are committed even by some of our own people. The blame goes on La République du Cameroon. They are fully responsible for all the suffering that our people are going through today. And this stems from two smoking guns, which I will show here. Two smoking guns. The first is the 1961 Constitution, which I have a copy here. The 1961 Constitution that was violated. The Constitution stated that under no condition will this document be altered to change the form of state. That is what this Constitution stated. Let me just read paragraph 1 of this federal constitution, part 1, paragraph 1. With effect from the 1st October of 1961, the Federal Republic of Cameroon shall be constituted from the territory of the Republic of Cameroon, hereafter to be styled East Cameroon, and the territory of the Southern Cameroons, formerly under British trusteeship, hereafter to be styled West Cameroon. These are the two countries that came together to form the Federal Republic of Cameroon. And it was stated that this document, the form of state was never to be changed. I don't know if I can find that article, but it
It
was
is
stated that this
47, Article 47. Article
Article
47.
47. Let me try to find it. Article 47. Yeah, 47. Let me see. Where are you? Yes, 47. No bill to amend the Constitution may be introduced if it tends to impair the unity and integrity of the Federation. No bill to amend the Constitution may be introduced if it tends to impair the unity and integrity of the Federation. Bills to amend the Constitution may be introduced either by the President or of the Federal Republic with Prime Minister of the Federal Republic states. That's different. That's a different paragraph right there. The second smoking gun, fellow ambassadors, the second smoking gun is this
The two
one:
alternatives.
the yes and the we. It is the yes and the we of 1972. That is when the final blow was given to this unitary, to this federal structure. When they deceived our forefathers to cast a vote of we and yes as to whether the federal structure of government was to be dealt away with. We were not given a choice. We were imposed a choice. So, because of these two smoking guns that I just introduced to you here, we are now in this war today. It is not of our making. It is because La République du Cameroon violated the terms of this constitution I just showed you here. So, Chairman Patrick, I just want us to drive home this message because people are out here saying, oh, Amber Boys have done this, the military has done that, this one has done this. But there would not have been this state of affairs if this constitution were not violated. If we were still with the federal government as was established in 1961, there would be no war in the southern Cameroon today. Am I wrong?
Comrade Mike, you are totally right. I think one thing that La Republique has failed woefully is the fact that they don't even have anybody that advise them about what is going on. This makes these people so ignorant that there is nowhere on earth that a government has picked up arms against their people and won. There is no country on earth that has ever fought a guerrilla war. The United States has all the drones, they have all the air power, they have military that cannot be compared to any other country. But they fought in Vietnam, they tried to fight a guerrilla war, they did not succeed. They fought in Afghanistan for over 20 years. They did not succeed. So I don't know how La Republic thinks
In Iraq.
they are going to fight their way and win the Amazonian people. So if, for example, if Nigeria attacks Cameroon today, who are they going to be using to fight? If you are using military to fight your own people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something that nobody in that country sit back and say, but what are we doing to our own selves? Even the young people who are running out there say they are military people, they are fighting to save the integrity of the state. My question to them is, where will you hide yourself when this is all said and done? You are killing people that you call your own brothers. You are carrying guns.
But many of them don't even know their history, Chairman Patrick. Many of them don't even know their history. They don't even know what they're fighting for. That's one thing. They have no clue what they're fighting for, if you should ask them.
what most of them are doing right now, they are enriching themselves. You saw 2 years ago when they were seizing motorbikes from people in Bamenda and carrying them
Mhm,
to
mhm.
Mbunda and all those places. Like all these
Yes.
villages you see that La Republic is burning. There was a quick incident in Jikwa recently where they went into the house, they gathered everything in a village, put them on
Mhm,
top of motorbikes and then burn the house. They are
mhm,
stealing. They are not burning houses. They steal everything, burn the house to hide the evidence. It's not like they
mhm,
are doing anything to. So when they burn these houses, the question is, where do you think these people are going to go? They are
mhm,
like escalating the war by burning their
mhm,
houses. So it's a situation that La Republic will one day regret, that they should have taken different actions. They should have talked to the people that they started talking to in Bamenda so that this thing could have been resolved. But they took
yeah.
the hard way. But Amazonia has been resolved. We've taken the hard way also to make sure we get this resolved the way we want, not the way La Republic wants. So
Yes.
they can keep on fighting, they can keep on doing, and when the day goes by, even if there are 2 or 3 Amazonian fighters left out there, they are never going to have peace until Amazonia is free.
No, no, there is no way. There's no way they will ever win this war. There's no way because you remember there's a picture of some kids who were standing around the Amazonian flag with their own guns that were made out of I think bamboo or something. Yeah, there are others coming up. We will never run out of fighters as long as there are people out here like this interim government and others who keep supporting. We will never run out of fighters. Now, we are running out of time, so we are kind of rushing things here a little bit. But you see, there is the so-called senatorial elections that are coming up. I forget what date that is, but we are
They
calling
say
on
they
our
say it's
citizens.
12th of March.
Uh,
12th of March.
yes, Honorable Samuel Thomas, you are saying something.
They say it's the 12th of March.
Okay, the 12th of March. So we are sending out this message to our citizens. You saw what happened in fact in Boya. You saw what happened in Boya. We don't want anyone to get hurt. And we understand that La Republic will do whatever it can to make sure they announce the results that are already predetermined. It's not from any election that will take place that they will go and announce those results. So do not expose yourselves out there to be hurt for no reason. Don't do that. So the senatorial elections in Amazonia are banned. When they say they are banned, it implies that no campaigning is allowed. There should be no gatherings of more than 10 people for the sake of an election. Our ARS will be watching. Do not go and expose yourselves out there for no reason. No gatherings of more than 10 persons out there. No propaganda of elections to be circulated anywhere in Amazonia. No flyers, no placards, nothing to be put out there for any senatorial elections in Amazonia. On that day, when they say they are holding the elections, stay away from any place that is called a polling station. Do not go there. Do not go there. And first of all, if you identify any polling place in Amazonia, you know a place where they will be voting, inform this interim government of that location. Let us know about it. So make sure that that day is a non-event. Whoever is accepting to be a senator in Amazonia, you are doing it for yourself. You are not representing anybody because many of them are living in Yaoundé, by the way. So,
Comrade Mike,
uh,
let me just chip in
yes, sir.
something, just 30 seconds.
Okay,
If you know
go
this
ahead.
senatorial elections in Cameroon is only carried out by the mayors. So what
Mm-hmm.
La Republic does, they gather these mayors into hotels, upstation
Mm-hmm.
Bamenda, or at the headquarters of the regions or their area. And but one thing we just have to tell these people, you are enabling La Republic to kill your own brothers and sisters. If you think you are going for an election, that is not an election.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, La Republic, they vote 60% of the senators, the president appoint 40%. So who is fooling who?
Mhm.
So they should not be wasting their time because they are going to go back to their LGAs, they are going to go back to their counties. So if they are running to
Mhm.
Bamenda thinking they are going to go take 25,000 and vote or do whatever they are doing to uh, justify what La Republic is doing, they are going to come back to their LGAs. So nobody
Of
should be
course.
blaming the restoration forces that, oh, they did this. You are enabling, you are increasing the pain on our people by running to
Mhm.
Yaoundé. I've not seen any senator making sure they are building a hospital in any LGA or any county. They are doing it for
None, none,
themselves.
no. They're doing it for themselves. So yeah, thank you there, Honorable Sama Thomas. Please, we are out of time, but I'll give you 1 minute to sum up your ideas or the ideas we've discussed today, and we'll call it a day.
Well, I just want to talk about spoilers.
Mm.
We've never had the shortage of funchas, what are the shortage of Muna in the
Mhm.
southern Cameroons. The ADF is playing the role of Muna
Mhm.
in the 60s and 70s up to 80, 90. Why those who call themselves councillors and whatever are still playing that same role.
Mhm.
But the councillors who are going to vote for the so-called senatorial elections that are coming up, please,
Mhm.
to still serve yourself from a mess that is coming your way. The Southern Cameroon does not have councillors, and if you show yourself that you are a councillor, just know that we'll be coming for you. Even if we do not come for you today, after, like my brother was saying during the beginning of this program, that after the revolution, we are still coming for you. If we don't come for you, you are in your grave. Your family will pay the price. For
Mhm.
traitors have never gone free with their treachery. If you don't pay as an individual,
You'll
children
pay.
will pay.
You'll pay for it.
First of all, in America up to today, children of traitors are still paying the price for the role which their parents played during the American War of Independence. So the Southern Cameroon is not going
Thank
to
you.
be different. Try something, you will see something.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Sama Thomas, and thanks for coming on board again. Chairman Patrick, you have just 30 seconds since you spoke last. Just round up and we'll be out of here.
All right, Comrade Mike and my brother Sama, I'm going to say but something different. Something that I learned from um, Nambere the other day is about our brothers who are serving within the La Republic uh, government. Some of them are looking for ways to get out, but because of the atrocity, because of what La Republic can do to them, they are so scared to even open their mouth. And sometimes they don't even
Mhm.
want to talk to anybody because people record and put out information. We are going
Yes.
to set up a way to get some of these our brothers away from that dungeon. We are going to do
Mhm.
everything to get some of them away. Even the government ministers who are trying to run away and their passports have been taken, we are going to
Mhm.
figure out a way to get them out of there because we cannot leave our brothers to die because they are so scared to even open their mouth. You see the way the prime minister is being treated by the
Mhm.
Yaoundé
Yeah.
junta.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
not humane. You cannot
Yeah.
be the prime minister and you cannot even open your mouth to make a decision in the country. What are you anymore
Mm.
anyway?
So,
So
yeah.
again, we know what is going on, we see it, and we're going to make sure we help some of you to get out of that territory. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Patrick. And for your point, I think it is a shame to see how they are treating Dion Gute there. It is really shameful. He's more of an errand boy than a prime minister, and it's time for him to. I told him to resign. I don't know what he's waiting for. He should resign. So, fellow Ambazonians, I hope this program was beneficial to you. I hope the information was helpful in your decision making. And for those of us within this interim government and for our comrades, those who from time to time may need to take a break, it should not be a point of contention. It should not be a reason for us to fight. we can still work together even whether in the government or not in the government. So again, the warning is no elections in Amazonia on the no election whatsoever, be it this March or any other time. So I'd like for you to take that message and spread it. I'll be coming back again next week. I'll hopefully be announcing, playing you an audio of the winner of the most productive group award that was awarded last time. So again, I like to say to you, take good care of yourselves and each other. Amazonia must be free. Good night.